everyone, welcome. If you are joining us for the first time, you have come to my fourth week of a 1 year millionaire challenge. I am going to give you all the things that I did in the past week. So today's actually February 2nd, and we're always 1 week behind, or 1 week ahead, I should say. Whichever. In any case, welcome to my channel. You are here to find out how I am doing on my journey to becoming a millionaire by December 24th, 23rd, last week of December. And this is what I did week 4. So the first thing was I started a podcast. So I did not know anything about podcasting, but I was told that it is one great way of getting information out there to people about your business. So my podcast is about healthcare professionals, whether you're CNA, RN, LPN, respiratory therapist, PT, OT, whatever branch you hold or you practice in the health field. I interview you and find out how your journey has been, how you started, how you feel now compared to when you started, and all the juicy stories, scary stories, exciting, inspirational stories that you might have. So I started that podcast. It's not easy. I'm not really tech savvy, so it's a work in progress. I actually did 1 episode thus far. I'm supposed to do 1 a week. So this week I should do my 2nd episode, or the 4th week I should have done it, but I'm still learning about podcasting. So in any case, I started a podcast. The second thing I did was I had my first student for the year. So it was an African student. She heard about me online, and I was able to sell her one of my how to study courses, which is $150. I allowed her to pay $100 for it though, just because she was a first student. I had missed her 1 week before, so I told her I would give her a discount, and she's a good bargainer. So I did do that. The next thing that I did was I met with one of the contacts that I had been introduced to, was Miss Diana, and she's wanting to start a summer camp, and I own a summer camp. So she wanted some information, and I thought it was good to share, because one of the things they say that you must do is to share, to give, and when you give, you receive. So I was connected with her. We went out for breakfast. I shared my information with her, and she in turn was like, if I am able to get you into my schools, because she works in some branch in Department of Health. So that was a great connection there. Another thing I did was I found a location for future endeavors if I wanted to start a school. So I had always been asked by my students, can you start a school? And I was like, that's a lot of responsibility, a huge endeavor, and I don't think I could do it. And even if I could, it costs so much money to run an actual building. It's like $5,000 to just put in an application. But I was speaking to a member of my church, a great lady, and she was like, listen, we need to work together. I'm a principal of a school, and I have a building. You can definitely use it if you need to. So I am starting to think very seriously about starting a school, but it's in the works. At least I have a location, I have a collaborator. We're going to see, but that's so much over my head for now. But it's great that I had the opportunity to have someone to say, if you need a place, even for tutoring, actually. She was like, I can definitely use one of her offices, one of her classrooms. So that's a great thing. If I ever need a place to hold a class, I know I can count on her and the location that she provides. The other thing is the students in her school, she also offered them as a pilot program for research for my tutoring. So I have 13 steps that I promote that I know will help students do better. She has a student, because she's a principal of a school, and she was like, listen, use my students. Well, I asked her, and she said I could. So this week, the 5th week, I'm supposed to write a proposal, a plan of how we're going to go about doing this. So that was a great thing that I did last week, the 4th week. And it goes in collaboration with, if I am able to work in BMCC, which will come a little later, then and am able to initiate a research project on this book, on this new research plan that I have a group of students that I can use as a pilot so I can show how effective my tutoring is. Isn't that wonderful? I think that's super cool. So that's another thing that I did. I also started music lessons. That is not really anything having to do with music and becoming a millionaire. They're not really connected, but I am told if you want to improve your mind, some of the things that you can do is to learn a new language or take up a new instrument or something like that. And I've always wanted to learn the piano. They were offering it for free, not exactly for free, $100 for the whole year. That's basically for free. And I was like, dude, I've always wanted to learn. I'm not gonna let this opportunity go by because I want to get $1 million. I think knowledge is power. Money can get me more power. So like, I will take the lessons. So I also started doing piano lessons, or taking piano lessons the 4th week of January. I also gave money to someone in need. Yes. So a family member reached out to me and they were like, I need help. Can you help me out? And I was like, okay, cool. So I gave them money, and that I added that because I also am aware, because I just said, if you give, you're able to receive. And this is not tithing or offering, but it's just me doing a kind deed to someone in need. So I did say that I wasn't going to just spend money frivolously, and I'm not there. And it's so funny now that I said it. I have like so many people offering me tours and trips, and now I have to, because I'm in certain clubs, I have to give dues. I'm like, they're not getting my money. I'm not going anywhere. I had to, like, I keep saying, I'll think about it, but deep down, I know I don't want to, because I don't want to spend money. But if it comes to helping, I read in Think and Grow Rich that I read in Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This is the other book that I'm reading. Actually, I finished it this week. That if I want to get rich, get money, I have to be willing to give it. And it comes with the idea of tithing and offering, which makes sense, right? So I did do that this week. So the next thing I did was I sent a resume for a teaching position in BMCC. So that was an extraordinary thing, because as I told you last week, one of my professors who moved from Pace University to BMCC had told me, when I told her that I have a business and she asked me about it, she was like, oh my gosh, I do a research. If you want to research this topic of studying, you can join me and we can do research together. I was a little skeptical at first when she asked me, because I was like, it's my personal book, it's my personal research, so I didn't really want to do research under someone else so that they would take the credit for it, because that's not cool. But she has her own research because she developed a new kind of medicine that would cure VRSA, and so I would help her with hers, and she just gave me an avenue so I can also do mine. It would be separate from her, so that was wonderful. Then she's when I was in Hollywood, California, she said to me, she texted me or emailed me, I think, that there's a position for lab available for pediatrics. So if I'm interested, so I sent her my resume, which is a great opportunity, which is also good because one of my scholarships that finally came through towards the end of my nurse practitioner career was a scholarship where they would give me the money if I promised to give back to the community by teaching. So this would actually cover so many different aspects of my current position. First of all, with the me getting into the field of teaching in a university, because that's what my goal is. Secondly, me doing research on my topic, the book that I wrote, the methodology of studying that I have. And 3, me being able to fulfill my obligation that I had taken, that allowed me to use the funds for me to finish the nurse practitioner program. So that was perfect. So I'm praying about it, that God allows it to come to fruition. The next one was I went to a movie premiere in Hollywood, California. So I mentioned that I was in California when the professor, Miss Mulverati, texted me. So I went to California because there is a premiere of a movie, Beyond the Secret, and I know the gentleman who produces it, Mr. Jeff. Can't remember his last name right now. So I wanted to support him. I actually bought the ticket by mistake. Not by mistake, really. I bought it purposely thinking that it was going to be in New York, but it ended up being California. So didn't want to lose $100, so I paid $400 extra to go. And I figured it would be like beneficial because I had never been in California, and it would be nice to rub shoulders with people who are in that field that I'm interested in, which is making money. That was what the movie was about. It was about when you think positively and you call for great things come to you. It's like the power of attraction, that kind of thing. So it was a great movie. I loved the experience. It was a great feel, knowing that you had a movie premiere and, you know, you were around people who, you know, think alike, or think the same thoughts, think the same way you do it, and like the same things you like, that kind of thing. So it was a great experience, and I liked being in Hollywood. It was nice to see the stars on the ground. I didn't meet any actual celebrities, stars, but it was okay. It was a nice experience. I also found a young man who would be a photographer when I go to speaking engagements. So when I go speak, I usually have my phone and a stand that I would take pictures of myself, and it doesn't really look professional all the time. I mean, people can see that I went to speak, which was great, and I could upload that, but I wanted to do it more professionally, to have someone take pictures of me while I did it. So I reached out to my church community, and they connected me with a church member that I knew and grew up with. Well, he was a little boy when I grew up, you know, he grew up with me, but in any case, he's a photographer. And I reached out to him, and he was like, he would come with me. So I was supposed to go on Monday, which is coming tomorrow, but unfortunately they rescheduled because the guy was like, we didn't advertise enough. I don't know. And then Thursday, I was supposed to go to another school. So I was supposed to go to Long Island Business Institute on Monday, and a school that a lady from my church is a assistant principal in, or principal, that I was supposed to speak there as well. But it looks like both engagements are canceled or postponed for now. One, because they didn't advertise, and the second one because when I mentioned that I would be taking pictures and videos, she was like, I don't know about that. So I might have to recant on the pictures, but I did tell her that I don't have to feature the students' faces. I can do the back of their heads. That way no one knows really where they are, I mean who they are, but they can see me as I speak in front of the class. So we'll see how that goes. But I do now have a photographer that I can reach out to and who can go with me on these different engagements. So this 6th week, this week coming up, what I'm going to do is follow up on all the engagements that I'm supposed to visit and talk in their facilities or churches or wherever. Okay, so now the last thing that I did was so I was also deciding not to spend a lot of money. So when I went to California, I took the bus. And I think that's a great feat, because when you're traveling, it's kind of hard when you don't know where you're going to be taking public transportation. I got lost twice, but I saved money doing it. So I am deciding not to spend money because of the fact that I am saving up. Eventually I will have money to invest. I don't have yet. Right now I'm really trying